I'm so happy to be here with you today. And today we are going to be talking about giving back and projects that we love to invest our time in and give back to our community. And we also want to talk about a few acts of random kindness. So the first thing I wanted to go over is I wanted to talk about the winner from last week who has won this bamboo pop, number 306. And that's Juno Atkins. And so we will be contacting her for her shipping information. And this week we are going to be, our prize for this week is some Regia. It's called Perfect. And what's neat about this is if you see the striping on the yarn, it has yellow striping, and if you start with that yellow strand, you get a perfectly symmetrical pair of socks out of it. And so this is the prize for this week, and it's a wool sock yarn, quite lovely. And it has, if you see it, it's sort of a fade, find your fade in there. And so that's the prize for this week. And the way that you enter to win is you post comments in the comment section. You tell us what you're working on, and you tell us where you're from, or anything that you want to tell us or share with our Alpaca Direct friends is great. And then you'll be entered to win.
So Debbie Walker says, good morning from Oklahoma.
Hi, good morning, Debbie Walker. It's so nice to have you with us. It's wonderful being able to share time with all of you. And I also wanted to thank our Facebook guests. There are a few people that I wanted to mention. Debbie Doctor is working on her Michelle Hunter. And this is our knit along. I'm a little bit behind on mine. And this is what I'm talking about. Debbie Doctor is working on her, and she has the gray colorway in hers, and it looks quite lovely. I wanted to thank her for sharing with us. And this is a great knit along from Michelle Hunter. And the pattern will be on her website. You can get it for free through May 31st. So if you're interested in doing the knit along, you can do the knit along, or you can go ahead and just download the pattern and do it on your own time or what have you. But she has great video tutorials, and I would highly recommend her using her patterns because her instructions are great learning material. So that's that. And this knit along is using the concentric. Mine is starting to fall apart a little bit, even though I've kept it in a Ziploc bag. And it's made out of 100% baby alpaca. And it's a gradient yarn. Quite beautiful. And you use 4 strands to knit together, and that's how they do the fade colorway on it. But that's really fun. Also, I wanted to mention to you that Susan came back from vacation, and we're so happy to have her back. We just love Susan. And we missed her while she was gone, but she did have a good time on her vacation. So we are happy to have her back, and she has these necklaces. I had talked about these on a previous Facebook Live, and she makes these for us. And Susan is quite talented, and we sold out of these immediately. And these are great gifts for Mother's Day. So she has made more for us and brought them back into stock. So if you would like to purchase a necklace, they're now back in stock. And let me see if I can see, this goes at the top here. But what they are is they're lovely little stitch markers, and I think they go up to a number 10 needle. So you can wear this around your neck and give it to your knitting buddies. And they will always have a stitch marker handy for their projects, even when they go on the airplane or what have you. So these make great Mother's Day gifts. So I can't highly recommend that enough. And I'll show you the little box that she makes for them. It's quite cute. So see, she hand makes all these for us. And that's from Susan, who works here in our shop. And she's a fantastic knitter. And she's so completely talented. And so I wanted to show those to you. The groups that we're going to be talking about today that we love to donate to is, one of them is called Project Linus, and I know it's not knitting, it is our quilting buddies that are making these quilts. And so I wanted to show them to you and tell you a little bit about Project Linus. And the thing about Project Linus that I love so much is it helps children that have been through tragic events. And these quilts and what have you, you can even knit some of this stuff. And the way you find out more about these projects is they will be posted on our blog, right, Jim? Mm-hmm. And they will also, you can even search in Ravelry. If for some reason you can't find it on our blog, you can search in Ravelry or you can just check the blog out. But let me just show you a few examples of what our community has done to help Project Linus. These are all handmade by quilters, and they're donated for children. Do you see how big it is? It's huge, and it's beautiful, and it's quilted. See the back of it, how it's all finished? That's what our community does for those in need. Just a few little things that they do. I'm going to show you a few more because these are worth looking at. And, you know, in your community, you guys can do, they have Project Linus, so you can do the research and see where the local chapter in your area is. Here's another one. Isn't that beautiful? And see how it's quilted differently on the back? It has like beautiful stitching on the back and front as well. So,
we're a drop-off that you might mention. That.
Yes, we're also a drop-off, and then we send them in for the people. And, yeah, so you can come in and drop your quilts off here in Hayden, or, you know, you can find your local chapter, because it's not only just here in Hayden, it's in different areas. Here's one last one I'm going to show you. But do you see how beautiful? That was a lot of work that went into that. The person who did this with love in their hearts, and I think it really helps people. The kids can keep them for years and years. So, and then when you're sending in your projects, it's nice if you write a note, and you can write on the note the care instructions and maybe a little thought of what you were thinking about when you were doing the project. People really enjoy that, and they enjoy it almost as much as the hard work that you've invested into your projects. So, yeah, I would definitely consider contributing to that. Also, there's another program, and it's called the Red Scarf Program. And what it is when foster children, they time out when they turn 18. And then when they're 18, the support and the resources that they had that would help them is gone. It's totally gone. So the Red Scarf Project gives red scarves to both girls and boys that are young adults, and they also help with food, gas, a tire change, maybe getting into an apartment, and they will also help with schooling for these kids. So they have that support system as if they were in a normal family, and they get that extra support. I can remember our daughter Lauren, when she had moved out on her own. She was young, she was about 17, and she went with us on vacation. And she got back home, and she called us up, and she was in tears. She was crying. She's like, Mom, I didn't realize that when I went on vacation and I came back that I wouldn't have any money. And she didn't have enough money for her bills. Well, she only did that one time. She learned quickly. I guess we took good care of her. But anyway, I can't imagine leaving Brandon and Lauren when they were youngsters without a little extra support when they needed it. And so for these foster children, being able to have the Red Scarf Project is really a neat thing. And I also wanted to talk to you about these projects. When you're doing a project and you're doing it for charity, you don't have to get the $1 million yarn. Because the kids aren't going to know the difference between the really good yarn and the yarn that is maybe totally machine washable with just a little bit of wool in it, what have you. So you don't have to break the bank to do charity scarves. I would say that the highest end of yarn that I have used for the Red Scarf Project is called Rios, and it's a superwash merino wool that you can throw in the wash machine. And so when you're doing these charity projects, you want to make sure that is easy care. because the kids aren't going to know how to take care of it, and they'll throw it in the dryer, and they'll felt it if it can be felted. And so anyways, and they'll probably lose the note that you put on it. They may remember some of it, but they may not know how to take care of the scarves. So this is Rios, and it's by Malabrigo, and it's a super wash, which means it's a machine washable yarn, and it's quite lovely. But you can also use the vintage chunky, and the reason why I wanted to bring up the chunky yarn is because if you're doing a bunch of scarves, you can get your work done more quickly. So this vintage chunky is also a machine washable yarn, really good quality, nice and soft, no itch next to your skin, and it's great for your projects for charity but easy care as well. A couple of other project yarns that you could use is Encore, and this is the Dynamo. It's a very popular colorway. It's kind of fun to knit because you can see it striping as you're going. And so even if you're doing simple ribbing, watching how it's going to pattern out is pretty cool. And this yarn is quite economical, also not itchy, also machine washable. So it's another thought. A completely acrylic yarn is Uptown Worsted, and this yarn is completely machine washable, sturdy as can be, completely comfortable, and the kids will also like to wear it around their neck because there's no itch. So that's another yarn that you can use for your charity projects.
They had a question. What was that again?
Sure.
What the name of that was?
Which one?
The one you just showed.
This one is called Uptown Worsted.
Okay.
Yeah. So you guys, when you're, I'm talking about all of this, I'm really interested in hearing about what projects you're working on and what charities that you like to donate to, because maybe there are some that I don't know about yet, and you can teach me so that we can donate to them as well, because we're always looking at ways to give back to our community. Also, if you want to post in comments what you're working on and let us know where you're from, and you can enter to where for the contest for this week, and it's called this Regia Perfect Pair, and what it does is it makes you two socks that are exactly alike. The yarn is made to make it easy for you, so you don't have completely oddball socks. So if you like your stuff uniform, this yarn is for you, and you can enter to win, and all you have to do is post in comments what you're working on. So you try and post those so that you can enter. Another yarn to do your projects out of for your charity knitting is on Cormega. And this is an acrylic wool blend by Plymouth. And it might take 2 skeins for your scarf, but it is really nice for those kids who like really chunky scarves, which is kind of the in thing. This is a great yarn for that. So this is another option for you. And see, we have the pretty color red for the knit red scarves. Also, I wanted to take a moment and talk about our Knitted Knockers program. And what it is it's for those women out there who have had to undergo radical mastectomies, either bilaterally or, what have you, one or both. But this fits inside their bra after surgery, and it's completely comfortable for them to wear while they're recovering from their surgery. You can imagine the surgical site is tender, what have you. So this Knitted Knockers is another way to contribute and give back to your community and help those women that are undergoing surgery for breast cancer. And so we like to donate to them. Also, I wanted to tell you about a story about Officer Moore. Officer Moore, I'm sure I've mentioned this before, but he was an officer in our area, and it made a huge impact on the community that we live in. Officer Moore had stopped a person on a random traffic site, and he was shot in the face, and he died. And he had a young family, and it was just a huge thing in our community. Everyone was really just devastated by the loss. And so we wanted to put together a memorial in our park, in our community. And so we did a blanket, and it's called the Thin Blue Line Blanket. And you can find it on our website at www.alpacadirect.com. But we put that together so we can help raise funds to put a memorial in the park so that no one would forget his service to our community. And he had gave up his life for us. And so, anyways, we did that thin blue line blanket, and we're able to raise funds for that memorial. Also, if you wanted to do that in your community for a police officer or a firefighter or someone that you know that has maybe given their life in the line of duty, or just show your appreciation for those firefighters or police officers. Maybe you're going to make a blanket and put it in the firehouse for the men to keep warm. You can use this vintage, and it is machine washable yarn, and it comes in full bags. And Baracco has helped us to give you a 25% off discount if you buy the kits for the blanket on alpacadirect.com. So if you wanted to do that, and you wanted to do that thin blue line, you know where to go. Go to alpacadirect.com. And we'll also have it listed on our Facebook Live post where to push the link for it as well. Also, don't forget, sign up to win your sock yarn today. This is called Regia Perfect Pair, and the reason why they call it that is you'll have a perfect pair of socks. The lines will completely line up. So line up, put your comments in the comment section, post your likes or share with others, and help us out here as we're doing our Facebook Live so that we can get to as many people as possible, so that we can help you all grow and we can share our ideas together.
There's a comment from Debbie,
Sure.
And I'm not sure where she's from, but she says in her community they make hats for the Peace Greeters. It's an organization that welcomes our troops home and abroad. For every person who goes overseas, they receive a new knitted or crocheted hat.
Oh, isn't that so lovely? Yeah, I'm so honored. I have family members that are in the armed services, and I so appreciate our soldiers that go out there daily and put their lives out on the line for us. And yeah, so that's important to tell them thank you. I'm a great fan of the Jocko podcast, and that's a great podcast that I listen to every day as I'm working out at the gym. Anyway, okay, so we're back to our projects here. And one more thing that I wanted to talk to you about was random acts of kindness. And this was a perfect example I'm sitting here thinking about this morning. What kind of random acts of kindness have I seen right around me? And I wanted to show you this little thing here. We have one of our knitters, Chris, and she also happens to be a quilter. And so she comes to our open knit groups. And we have coffee and tea for our knitters to enjoy when they're here working on their knitting projects. Well, she noticed that people were picking up the cups, and if they didn't have the cardboard sleeve, the coffee was hot. And so she came back one day, and she had taken all of her quilting scraps, and I don't know if you could see these little cup holders. She just made this cup holder, all these cup holders for our knitters to enjoy, and it's out of scraps that she uses from her quilting, and they're all a little different. Now, I asked her this last week. I said, a couple of our cup holders have gone missing. Do you think you can make more? And she said, of course I could. So here it is, less than a week later. She's probably made us 20 of these. And they're just so that our customers here at Alpaca Direct can enjoy their cup of coffee and not have to worry about burning their hands. So I wanted to show you how cute these little things are. And that was so sweet of Chris to do that for her. But that's just the kind of community that we have. We have wonderful people here, and I am very blessed. But you see how that is? Isn't that darling? That's what Chris did for us. And she is so kind. She is such a wonderful person, and I really appreciate having her in our knitting community. So I wanted to make sure and remind you that if you wanted to get this work on the concentric cowl, go ahead and download the pattern. The pattern's for free, and it's on knitpearlhunter.com, and it uses the lovely concentric yarn, 100% baby alpaca. And you guys make sure and post and let us know what charities you like to donate to, and maybe some random acts of kindness that you've seen in your community. And you can be entered to win our prize for today, which is Regia Perfect Pair. And so go ahead and post your comments. If you like what's going on, push the like button and let us know what you're working on so that you can be entered to win the contest. And I hope that you all have a great day today, and I hope that you enjoy giving back to others in your community and try and find ways to help others be the best that they can be. And you take care, have a great day, and thanks for watching.